Straight black nigga with the mask on. Use my own lane, you can pass on. I'ma stay neutral when I shoot you, but I still gotta school your people. Teacher wasn't told to get your ass on. King worship real things, nigga. Touch mine, I can make you lean, nigga. I don't need a couple magazine, nigga. Listen, nigga, like stone front two, nigga. Boy, out of line, you some shackles. Make it make sense, all facts go. I see why you're rolling with the hoes. Probably in the mirror striking poses. Keep it YouTube, never personal. Or call brick bodies, we got work to do. Let the boy know that I'm pissed off. Yeah, watch your tongue when your lips get slipped off. I can live anything from the tip balls. Use a lean nigga, have to get your chips across. Strike new. Hey, Shayla. Nigga trying to be the big boss, trying to be the big man, yo, that shit costs. You's a big boy, but where's the man part? Talking about a Mexico drink, all bitch talk with a real man. The ground in the air, put it taking down. We can fly high, just to take it down. I see a lot of fools, but they ain't brown. Niggas talk bitch when you make a sound. Niggas talk bitch when you make a sound. Niggas talk bitch when you make a sound. Melanated. When you make it sound, real talk, bitch niggas. Why you niggas gotta talk out your asshole? I'm only hearing shit, no facts, bro. You niggas all gas, no cash, bro. Everybody can't bleed. She wearing the same clothes, y'all. Hey, Praise. How you doing? Yeah, I said that boy, you was bitch talking. Swilling on your live like a bitch walking. Try to real fast that the men walking. Used to take the squad when the men talk. Catch you in the live with a big ball. I'm like, son, what the fuck you crying for? YouTube production was the next script. Next episode, nigga, next clips. Let's know both turn big shits. And follow me for the rest of the bullshit. Watch how the snakes try to pull fits. In the middle, like TV for the forfeit. And for what a couple views is some like clicks. Nigga selling soul, mine's priceless. Try to call me old, I'm a new throw. Already set the beat by the new pros. So I can bust back on your assholes. Straight balls, all living assholes. Try to call me old, I'm a new throw. Already set the beat by the new pros. So I can bust back on your assholes. Straight balls, all living assholes. Perfect. It's down in the air, put it take it down. Cool fly, take it down. See a lot of keys, but a big brown. Oh, there another one. My brother, I would love to have you as a guest on my show. We share a lot of the same views. Here we go again, y'all. Just start stomping these mofos out as soon as you find them, because letting them get big ain't the thing. Okay, melanated. Blessings and abundance, as always.
Blessings and abundance.
Looking like a half-rotten banana.
Is the fact that if you are out there job searching, keep in mind that the more jobs that you look for, the more likely you're
He back in that truck again, y'all. That's an SUV.
Score to go down. Changing your address can also cause your credit score to go down. Let's talk about it. So when you apply for jobs in this day and time, they tend to do soft checks on them or also hard inquiries, right? And so we want to be sure before applying for a job to find out what kind of inquiries are they doing. Be sure to least impact my credit score.
A background check will not impact your credit score. I have never had a job show up as an inquiry on my credit. Has anybody else? Because I haven't. I'm just saying,
Negativity. And not just that, be specific. Are you doing any hard inquiries?
Robert.
I don't even tell you if you're doing hard inquiries. That in turn You have people checking your credit.
Right, I remember that song. I'm in living color.
Looking for work. I didn't apply for 15 jobs. 10 out of 15 of those jobs you apply for to mess around and get you struck 10 times. So here it is.
Boy, you a lie, and the truth ain't in.
10 steps backwards. You walk with me. So you want to
Two
be careful
steps
with your
forward,
back. You
two
also want to
steps
do
back.
behind the companies that
Cause
you're
I
looking to
was
apply
in
for.
the
Because
trap.
they may even lie to you. Now, what good is it if it's going to mess up your credit? So you don't want to compromise the integrity of your credit. So keep in mind that applying for a job can, in fact,
So, family, now we ain't supposed to apply for jobs. What is we gonna do?
Also, I want you to keep in mind that there are over 30 different credit bureaus and financial institutions that can impact you. And we'll discuss those things.
He sound like the little Experion commercial. Shabo.
These are normally the words that they throw around it. But what you really don't realize is that there's several different types of scores. There's
Hey, Yummy.
there's toxic credit scores.
Yeah, I'm finna go grab me some ice real quick. I didn't get anything to drink before I started this. I'll be right back.
Or just in general, you get into a car accident, you need a muscle relaxer, right? And they might give you Percocets as a muscle relaxer. Because Percocets is a most commonly used drug, meaning people use it for recreational purposes, even though it wasn't created for that. Because it's a most commonly abused drug, it can impact their pharmaceutical score, which later on, based on CDAs and consumer data aggregates, is leveraged into the data for credit bureaus because they can't immediately use that data at their disposal, but they can get it from CDAs, and then they can use that against you. And how? So they'll do the statistics on people that use most commonly abused drugs such as Percocets and the predictability of that same consumer not paying back their debt. Well, most times when people are addicted, they misappropriate their funds due to addiction. So if you are addicted to a drug, you most likely won't prioritize paying back your debts because the drug is your priority. So what is the statistic on consumers that use drugs that are most commonly abused? In retrospect, the debt's been paid off. So what you'll find is it lowers your opportunity to get a larger line of credit. And this is a pharmaceutical score. Just like you have traffic scores. A person who has a tendency to accumulate traffic tickets, whether it's because they drive in the wrong lane, whether it's because they're speeding, whether it's because they're parking in the wrong zone, you have a tendency to constantly get traffic tickets. What's the probability of people who accumulate a lot of traffic tickets in retrospect to them paying?
That's your reliability score on your insurance, silly ass.
Traffic infractions have a tendency.
That ain't got nothing to do with credit. Oh my gosh.
People who buy mops from the supermarket. You see what I'm saying? So it's all about the predictability of the consumer. So you have a traffic score. If your traffic score is low, that information is being leveraged, turned over by way of CDAs, over to your major credit bureaus that you're familiar with, and then these things imposes hindrances, right, for
right, Shabo.
And so forth and so on. You also have credit card redlining.
Leonard!
They can't turn you down because of your race.
Our lips still ashy.
What they can do is turn you down based on the zip code you're in, which inadvertently is.
But that is also not a credit score. He got on the same clothes. He's the same clothes. Look, this is the live he did on the 25th? And this is what he has on today.
Blessings and abundance. So first thing I want to discuss in terms of credit is the fact that if you are out there job searching, keep in mind that the more jobs that you look for, the more likely your credit.
Did it start it over? Oh no, auntie, we on the wrong page. Let's go over here so we can stop and start as we please. Okay.
Blessings and abundance. So first, that information is being leveraged, turned over by way of CDAs, over to your major credit bureaus that you're familiar with, and then these things pose as hindrances, right, for So you also have credit card redlining. Okay, so in terms of credit card redlining, they can't turn you down.
That's about as real as a credit restoration microwave.
Credit. And what they can do is turn you down based on the zip code, which inadvertently is an attack against you based on
Redlining has nothing to do with credit.
your zip code. So
Might be why you can't get credit, but
your mailing address, it can impact you for the negative or for the positive. It all depends. Okay? So I want you to walk with me. If you change your mailing address, it can impact you for the negative or the positive. If you already live in an address that's red line or close to the red line, what'll happen is you won't be approved for a larger amount of money that you possibly could be approved of. You won't be approved of any type of loan or credit card at all. All right? So we tend to suggest get you a UPS mailing address, a FedEx mailing address, because the bureaus interpret.
they don't redline you credit cards.
Domestic address. All right, not a United States postal address. You don't want that. And you also want to get this new mailing address in a highly reputable neighborhood. Okay, low crime rate, highly reputable. Pardon me, highly reputable.
So you saying steal somebody else's address?
It's an immediate income of over $200,000, or a neighborhood that is an increase of over 75,000 from the one that you previously was in. This will cause your credit score to boost 50 to 75 plus more points inside of about 60 days or so. Just changing your address, but making sure that you are either your new address is either in the city hall area of your community or city or state, as well as or in a neighborhood that's highly reputable.
We are legends. Peace and welcome.
Plus,
Right. He don't never come on like this. Not no more.
adding a positive item to your report. So there's negative items you look to get removed from your report, right? Because
But he got
you have the right to also
31 plus 2, that's 33.
so something
33 days in the wake up
phone number or mailing
till he got
address,
caught.
positive items that can be added to your report to boost your credit scores. You may say, how is it my email or my phone number or mailing address to do it? But I just explained the mailing address, but what you also need to understand is the number one identifiers for a person's credit history is their phone number, their email.
Hey, Jeremy.
So I would always suggest you get a new phone number first, and then you get a new email, because normally you have to add a phone number to the email. Then you get a new address, and normally you have to add an email and a phone number to the new address. And this is you creating a new clean slate with a phone number, email, and address.
So you stealing somebody else's house information. Probably do, Shabo.
Previous credit history or undertakings have transpired. Okay. You also have this thing where it's called a balance transfer option. You don't want to get more than 2 credit cards if you just started in the game. If you're just getting in the game, we have what's called a slim file, meaning you haven't even built enough credit history to be appreciated. So someone who has a 700 plus credit score may not get or have the same concessions made onto them for someone that has a 680 credit score. But a person with a 680 credit score may have a larger file in terms of credit history. So they
Boy, stop.
You can try to improve it. A person with like a 750 credit score may not get the same amount of assets that someone with 680 has, simply because they might be in a red line area. So a person with a 750 credit score might live in a red line area, and a person with a 680 credit score may live in an area that has a median income of over $300,000. The same 680 or 640 credit score holder.
Hold on. Redlining doesn't impact your credit score. What redlining does is X's you out from buying houses in certain areas so that you cannot better yourself. Just stupid.
Amount of proofs in terms of credit history. They may have borrowed from this company, borrowed from that company, have the house, have the company. And so they have so much credit history that they can be trusted over the person who lives in a red line area that has less information or accounts of them being trusted. So the 750 credit score holder may not get as much opportunity as
Hey, Levon.
so these are things you want to take into consideration as well. I'm just going over a whole bunch of free information just to show you what it is. We do the credit restoration microwave, which costs $2,000.
He said it again. Credit restoration microwave.
Adding positive items to your report, boosting your credit scores, and then leveraging your newly found credit disposition so that you improve for anywhere between $100,000 to $300,000 in credit. And then we also teach you how to turn a significant sum of that credit into cash. So we got cash available to you to credit, which is another thing people don't teach about how you can turn credit into cash. All right, and this takes place inside of 60 business days, a little more or less, give or take, especially everybody's using the environmental circumstances to their advantage. I don't want to use.
You don't. We are legends. You don't. Activated kombucha. Is that a van?
Keep in mind, we went over quite a few things, right? Very powerful information. Your address can impact your credit score significantly. Also, we just talking about balance transfer option. What a balance transfer option is, you don't want to spend more than 36.6% that of the amount of credit that's allotted to you. So
that's your debt to income ratio, Art. What was I about to say? Oh, the transfer balance option. I believe I'm not 100% certain. Transfer balance option. That's when you switch your debt from one credit card over to another when you open the credit card out. And it'll take the balance of the old credit card and close that credit card, and then you just got the one with the old balance and your new balance. He tried to make simple shit complicated.
I typically tell people don't go over 30%. So with the balance transfer option, let's say you stay within the criteria of 30% tax.
This Negro been reading the Experion page. So hold on.
Don't spend $300. So let's say you get $1,000 line of credit, but you go over it by $100. Meaning, let's say you spend $400.
Your guess is as good as mine.
One or two credit cards, if you don't really have much of a credit history, it'll work against you. So don't go being approved just because you will be approved. It's not a good idea. Not doing nothing also is a bad idea because you can lower your opportunities in terms of credit if you don't do anything. So it's best that you do something, but also make sure you do things within the game, within the confines of the game. So in this particular case, you want two credit cards. Make sure your credit cards have a balance transfer option, meaning the way you're going to use it is, let's say I know I'm not supposed to spend more than 30% down of the amount of credit allotted to me. So the trick is, if I get for every $1,000, in this particular case, let's say I got $1,000 in credit on my credit card. Just because I have $1,000 in credit on my credit card doesn't mean that I should be able to spend it. I'm really not supposed to spend $300. Technically, $366.66 because it's 36.6%. But I always suggest that people keep yourself within 30%. I just repeat some things over and over.
That you clone the foodie time.
Let's say your goal is, I know I got $1,000 in credit on my credit card, but I know really I'm not supposed to spend $300 out of it. So let's say you spend $400 out of it. What you want to do is exercise your balance transfer option on your credit card and allocate $100 or more dollars. I would say a little more than 100. Allocate a little over $100 and more to the other credit cards so you stay under that 30% threshold. So if you know you're not supposed to spend
here you go.
$300 per 1,000, any dollar amount you go over on that one credit card.
Okay. Let's talk about how banks and lenders may see you so that you can take control of your financial story. 20.2% of Americans are in your same score range and are considered subprime borrowers. Yeah. My credit ain't the best, but it ain't the worst either. But it's a part on here. Many lenders prefer to see a ratio of 35% or lower, so great job keeping monthly payments under yada yada yada. But yeah, that is more on the website. I'm on the app, but it gives you a whole rundown and it runs you through all of this stuff, and it sounds way better than him.
You want to exercise your balance transfer option and allocate it to the other credit card. And in doing so, you actually, on the first, second, or third time that you do this, you actually will get your points boosted because then you'll be exercising a certain level of.
When I moved into my last house, my credit didn't boost none. Hey, Will T, thank you for that, Will, and be safe at work. But like, I didn't get no credit boost from buying my house. Do I get benefits over time? Yes, because it shows I pay my mortgage every month. Credit microwave life.
Intelligible decision making as a consumer. And they'll say this person must be hit or know something. Okay, and just for exercising that type of judgment, you can get you 30 or more points boosted for that. So keep that in mind. All right. So you want to get credit cards that have a balance transfer option. And the main reason you're using the balance transfer option is if you go above that threshold or that criteria to not use as much of your credit as you know you're supposed to use per each $1,000, then you'll allocate that additional sum.
That's your debt to ratio income.
Again, you go to brotherpolite45@gmail.com. You leave your full name, your phone number. You're ready to pay us $2,000 to get access to anywhere between 100 grand to 300 grand.
Eugene, let me help you out real quick. It's access. Access, not access. Assessing means that you're taking in everything about the situation and formulating an idea. Access means you can get to it. Dum dum. I say he talked too much. He never shuts up. Yeah.
Credit by way of us leveraging your newly found credit disposition so that you can be approved for such monies as well as.
Hey Google, definition of disposition.
Here's the definition of disposition: a person's inherent qualities of mind and character.
A person's inherent qualities of mind and character. The second definition is the way in which something is placed or arranged, especially in relation to other things. Now listen to this again. He been in the sun too.
$1,000, then you'll allocate that additional sum to the other credit card, and just by exercising that type of judgment, you'll win. Again, you go to brotherpolite45@gmail.com. You leave your full name, your phone number, and you're ready to pay us $2,000 to get access to anywhere between 100 grand to 300 grand in credit by way of us leveraging your newly found credit disposition so that you can be approved for such monies as well.
Leveraging your newly found credit disposition. Hey Google, what's a credit disposition?
According to Corporate Finance Institute, when banks review the loans and sell the collateral in the event of default by the borrower.
Okay, so that's only if you default. Default meaning not paid. So it still don't go. Ooh, I took that back entirely too far. Crystal, sit up somewhere.
Then you'll allocate that additional sum to the other credit card, and just by exercising that type of judgment, you'll win. Again, you go to brotherpolite45@gmail.com. You leave your full name, your phone number, and you're ready to pay us $2,000 to get access to anywhere between 100 grand to 300 grand in credit by way of us leveraging your newly found credit disposition so that you can be approved for such monies as well.
There are 6 types of disposition.
That's what I found on the web.
Use this, and you can just use it to boost your credit. It gets a little more technical in terms of getting you approved or removing certain negative items off the report. But nonetheless, it's free information.
This is all about selling stuff, not taking shit off your credit. All this stuff for anything for disposition. Selling a stock investment on the open market. Donations to charities or trusts. The sale of real estate, either land or a building or any other financial asset. So this is when you sell something, dink. It doesn't fix your credit. Macho man ready. Step into a step jam. He's sold up too. Hold on. Wait a minute. Oh yeah. Who did it better? Eugene? Macho Man Randy Savage. I'm going with Macho Man Randy Savage.
Last couple of weeks of doing the service is also the opportunity for us to mentor you into the opportunity to know what direction.
They gonna mentor you into an opportunity, family.
Options is available to you to invest your
I
money.
know some English teacher is out there right now, like banging their head on the wall. This is not the way you talk.
Call it 10th, right? I dropped out of school, the same 10th grade dropout. Okay, dropped out of school 10th grade. I ain't do too much months into the first couple of months into 10th grade. So take it or leave it.
You know what, Eugene? We can tell. We can tell that you dropped out of school. Probably thinking that you knew more than the teachers did. He's literally bald. It doesn't make no damn sense. None, Leonard, but he ever got some money. You ain't made no money though.
To share my experiences.
You have scammed some.
Myself.
Oh, wait. See, Lord. Hold up, take.
Skilled and credentialed to confirm or substantiate anything that I'm saying here. So let me say that for the record. Let me just say that for the record. I only have my experience. That's all I have. That's my personal experience. But I will always suggest that you get verification from people that have gone to school. And though they may not know, it's like reverse osmosis. If you give them the facts first, then they can help you verify it.
They may not know. How is a professional tax person, accountant, whatever? How are they not supposed to know more than you? They not only graduated high school, but they went and took continued education to learn how to do taxes. I mean, really, dude? And what do tax officials have to do with this? You talking about credit.
Let's keep going. All right, you can go to brotherpolite45@gmail.com and give your full name and your phone number when you are ready. You don't have to contact us until you'll be ready next month. We won't even be doing it next month.
No, you won't, because you'll be getting ready for court.
This is a lot of stress to move out people for a number of reasons, which I won't disclose today because I really want to stay focused on giving you guys
You going to jail.
How you address the impact your credit score, credit card redlining. We discussed, what else did we discuss? We discussed balance transfer options. We discussed adding positive items to your report, not just removing negative items to your report. Okay, that's right. You can submit data to confirm things that empower you to get a better score. So instead of just being on the defense and attempting to remove negative things off your report, you also have the right to add positive items to your report to boost your credit score. That's powerful. We also talked about turning credit into cash. All right. We talked about the balance transfer option. We talked about not doing nothing to impact you negatively. We also talked about applying for jobs can also create a declination in your credit. Can be responsible for declination in your credit. Applying for job after job after job after job, and not realizing that these may be hard inquiries. So we're out here.
No, you know what can affect your credit? Going from one car dealership to another, applying to buy a car. Hey, Table. Mm-hmm. Burn the taco meat is restoration microwave. It's raining today, y'all. But no, like I went up to the car dealership with a certified price from my credit union. Is USA a credit union? I think so, but anyway, USAA. So I went up there with that, and they still insisted on running my credit. And by the time I left there, I had 3 or 4 hard inquiries after the lady told me, "Oh no, this is a soft inquiry." And that was when I bought the estate. So yeah, they just dropped off this year, like a month ago. But I haven't had anybody pull my credit for a job.
You're lazy. I just went and I applied for 15 different jobs. 10 of those out of the 15, shit, maybe 15 out of the 15 can impact your credit score negatively times 15 or times 10 or times 8. So you need to make sure you are made full aware what kind of inquiries that the job you're applying for may be doing because that can really hurt you. Okay, so it's a shame because you're out here attempting to do the right thing, and all the while the wrong thing is taking place. What else? We also talked about the percentage, 36.6% of anything that you've been accredited. You want to be careful not to go past the 36.6 threshold, but I typically suggest people 30%. Also, you have two different dates. You have the cycle or the billing date, right? And then you have the due date and you have the reporting date, right? So, which is two different dates for your credit card. Most people only know about the billing date. The billing date is the date that they tell you you need to pay your bill. If
Do
you
you
know
know
what the
why
reporting
that's
date is,
there? That's there to give you a little bit of a grace period in case you miss the pay date. You can still pay before it hits the credit bureau. Dink.
you'll never have, it'll be as though you're using your credit card for free. You'll never have to pay interest. So it's 2 dates.
Yeah, as
Only
long as you pay off the full amount.
what is your bill due? They'll give you that date. Then you say,
Look,
what's the
you can pay off your statement, the monthly payment, and the rest of that that's sitting on there is that it's gonna be that interest and it's gonna jump the next month. So the only way this would work if you pay the credit card off completely every time you use it. I see you too, Sketch. How you doing?
other date? What's the reporting date? Not the billing date, the other date.
What's your court date?
They'll give you the other date. Now that's the date you want to make sure your bill is at zero.
You know
So
what?
you can make
If
sure
you
you
actually read the print on the shit when you sign up for the card, it tells you when the billing date is and it tells you when the report date is, when they report to the credit bureau.
bill is always at zero on that other date, then you never have to pay interest. It's like you're using your credit card for free all the time. I know that shit sounds right, but this is a fact.
You
But
have to
make
pay
sure
the
your shit
whole
is making
credit card
sense.
off. So if you
The
go and make a
information
big
is
purchase, if
giving
you
you
don't have the
advice.
money to cover
Also,
that,
you
they're going to
guys
charge you interest
you know
on
what?
what's left.
If you know you're about to be ensued or pursued by a creditor where it can impact your credit score, you know you got a debt that's about to come, before it hits your credit score, call TransUnion, spend an e-fax or email them and let them know you might have to pay $5, $10, or it might be absolutely free. Whatever the case may be, you can freeze your credit report. So you got reason
You can't freeze your credit report for something not to get reported on your credit. If that would, you know what?
to believe that it's suffice to
We
freeze your
ain't
credit
but
report.
20 minutes in, y'all. We got
Or in
minutes to
fear
go.
something will compromise the integrity of the
39,
report
might
to
as well say
further
40.
investigation. You let them know that you freeze your report so no new creditor can impact your credit score negatively so it can stay exactly the way it needs to be until you rectify the matter. That you want to do. If only someone would have told us, oh, we could have froze our credit report so the snitching doesn't have to take place, imagine how that would have saved you. So that's another jewel that you guys can use. You can freeze your credit report so nothing impacts you negatively. How about that? Make sure you share the video. I'm just dropping knowledge. It's for free. Now you can go to us at brotherpolight45.com, pardon me, at gmail.com, brother brotherpolite45@gmail.com. Spell it pride, optimism, love, integrity, gallant, honesty, and trust. POLIGHT.
What it's called
2000.
is a security freeze. You can request a security freeze be added to your credit report at the online freeze center or through mail. And that's for things like stolen identity and things like that. A credit freeze, otherwise known as a security freeze, is something you can put in place to limit others from viewing your credit reports, including lenders. Freezing your credit file is an extreme step, but it's something that might be necessary if you're dealing with identity theft and other measures such as fraud alerts haven't been effective for you. Because the credit freeze limits most lenders and service providers from obtaining your credit score, you will have to lift the freeze before making any applications for new credit. But it doesn't stop already known creditors from reporting on your credit report. It just stops people from inquiring so nobody can go out and get like $150,000 worth of debt in your name. It's dumb.
Allows you access to anywhere between 100 grand to 300 grand in credit. And what we'll do when you get access to it, we'll also show you how to turn a lot of that credit into cash. This can include business credit. This can include personal credit. Credit cards, you will get that by default. So don't worry about that. You need your full name and your phone number when you are ready to purchase the $2,000 service. This is my last time doing it. Other than that, you can use all this free information that I'm disseminating to your advantage.
And then he says you just call them and tell them you want to freeze your credit and you'll have to pay. You don't have to pay to freeze your credit. You can freeze it for free. But what you do need is you have to freeze it with all three credit bureaus. You'll also need to provide your social security number, a copy of a photo ID, and proof of residence, such as a recent utility bill. Depending on the bureau, you may create an account on its site that you can use to freeze and unfreeze your file in the future. If you plan to apply for credit with a credit freeze on your credit files, you need to lift the freeze, either temporarily or permanently, before you apply to ensure the lender can view your credit reports during its credit check. Exactly, Sketch.
Share this video. You can use this information to just get the ball rolling. You don't have the money for us to work with you effective and needed, because I'm stopping the program and I won't disclose why, for all the many annoying reasons that come about for helping out people. But I'll be stopping very shortly. And plus, I'm not getting paid enough to do that. I get my money on the back end tradition. I say, hey, you get this much bread, show me a little love. You know? But you know, people get their bread. And it's like they can't.
Oh yeah, and you can't get an extension on any credit that you already have while your credit report is frozen.
And it's not enough to be getting phone calls and people being worried. You know, I'm like, dog, you just 3-4 days in and you constantly calling me. Like, it's just too much. So, anyway, let's give you some more information. Okay, also, you want to be able to communicate with check systems, CHEX, or LexisNexis, LEXIS, Nexus, NEXIS, LexisNexis, right? These are different companies, right, that are soliciting or providing information that work to your detriment. Unbeknown to many of you, the same way you're not supposed to spend a certain percentage of the credit allotted to you by way of credit cards or loans, 36.6%.
35%.
Check this out. When you have a bank account, somebody's reporting the amount of money that you have left on a month-to-month basis. In other words, they're treating it like a credit card. So you know how you want to pay your credit card bill in a certain amount of time, so that way it's not reported, or you don't incur no extra fees with the APR rate and all this other stuff. So you know, if you have a $2,000 credit limit and then it's like, oh shit, I owe $1,800, you want to get that number down. Imagine your bank account being used against you in the same manner, whereas you have income and expenses, right? But your
Crystal,
income expense ratio is so compromised that even though you make
say it's true. Polite should be in jail. Yes, he should.
By the end of the month, you probably still only have about
Stop.
$400 in your account or 700 because you have expenses.
Hey, quit it.
You're spending, well, you're obviously spending more than 36.6% that of the amount of money that comes into the account, and it makes you look bad. Now, this may benefit other people who may be millionaires and they don't spend 36.6% of the money that comes into the account on a month-to-month basis. But what if you're not the millionaire? What if you're not making $1 million every month and you spend less than $366,666.66 a month? Maybe you're the person whose income to expense ratio is so compromised that you only have a few $100s or $1,000 left or so after the thousands that has come into your account on a month-to-month basis. Well, you need to say, I would like you to stop reporting my bank account information as is being.
Boy, you must have fell and cracked your head wide open.
So this is where you have to start communicating with check systems and LexNexus. Also, you want to communicate with them to find out what kind of information about your personal banking are you turning over that can pose as a detriment to you again. So this is why you reach out. You can easily send them an email or send them some mail or call for special report to find out what's being said about you in the banking industry that can disable you from getting loans, getting larger loans, or getting a larger line of credit in general. You probably never heard of the company Checks, CHEX. You may have never heard of LexNexus, LEXIS, Nexus, NEXIS. There's a whole bunch of stuff going on in the credit world. Like I said, from pre-K to 12th grade.
He tries to make it so big. There's a lot of stuff going on in the credit world. Why, if you don't sit your ass down somewhere?
You haven't learned how to sew a crochet. Food-wise.
Did you quit right when they gave you home ec, Eugene?
They teach you about nutrition. They didn't teach you about alkalinity, potential hydrogen skills. They didn't teach you about the harm in combining.
We all live this. Ain't been no testimonials, baby. Ain't been not a testimonial.
Lactose in the capacity of other races can, right? And how milk is allowed to have 24,000 live bacteria before the Food and Drug Administration takes it off the shelf. Or how it's allowed to have 750,000 somatic cells and euphemism for pus. Okay? How is it able to be pasteurized, a process in which they use radiation to prolong the shelf life? A process in which they induce the milk with cancer causing agents in the atmosphere. And then
He been sitting up here reading Peter catalogs, Peter pamphlets.
oh yeah, you can consume it along with the radiation. So it's radiated plus you consume it along with the pus and blood and the 24,000 live bacteria. And this is gonna be one of the key ingredients for the bread that you're using, which isn't made spelt blue amaranth. No, we're gonna use white flour. And if it's white sugar, it's white flour, right? White rice. Really doesn't have no nutritional value as well. At the very least, it's some gluten-free though. But they won't even tell you that. But anyway, so I don't digress. The point of the matter is this. So I don't digress. You didn't really learn about nutrition. So from pre-K to 12th grade, and you didn't learn nothing about real estate. You didn't learn how to even fill out
Eugene is an asshat.
the people you're purchasing the property from to educate you about the purchase. Which puts us in a conundrum because these people are the ones that's approving you.
Oh, we got a conundrum family. It's a conundrum.
It did put you in court. And let's also think about this. It's a lot easier to get approved for a house you can't afford than it is to be approved for a business that you can that will make you back money. Business loan?
No.
Debt for a house that doesn't make you money? A lot easier to come by. They'll go out their way to approve this, and then what they have.
But don't you need this money? I mean, this house to like live in, and mortgage is cheaper than rent.
We're talking all these different statistics where they can infer or presume, I should say, the likelihood of you being able to pay back the debt and then they raise the amount of money. Because the real setup is in. Hopefully, you're going to default or won't be able to pay for the property inside of the span.
Hopefully, you're gonna default or not be able to pay for your property.
you won't be able to redeem. The bank will buy the property back and sell it back to another unsuspecting person. So after they look at your educational history, your parents' educational history, your neighborhood, how long you've been in there, the criminal record, they're able to make a determination on if or not you can afford their property, and they will most likely approve you of the loan that you cannot afford. You're not in real time. It's something that over the span of maybe 3 to 5 years or 5 to 10 years, depending on what the bank.
No, that would be the difference between getting a fixed rate loan and one of those balloon payment loans. I forget what they call them. But them loans, the price you have to pay every month changes. When you get a fixed rate loan, you pay the same amount every month for the life of the loan. I just had a 30-year fixed rate loan. I could have paid it off early. It's doable because the interest only accumulates the longer you let it sit. An extra payment now and then help that interest go down.
The institution is.
All this extra shit he got people trying to do.
And that's why there's so many properties available, much more than the people who have them. But that's another conversation. That's another conversation for another day. Point being is you're going to be approved for loans that you can't afford, and it's not by accident. They do it.
No, that was back in the early 2000s when people were signing people shit for signing people shit for shit that they couldn't afford.
It's kind of crazy. So, with all these things working against you, you have to arm yourself with knowledge so you won't be abused. And again, if you're ready for us to
He say they out here abusing people, y'all.
But they will send letters and affidavits to credit bureaus and financial institutions alike for the purposes of removing negative items of your report, adding positive items to your report, boosting your credit scores, and then leveraging your newly found credit disposition so that you're approved for anywhere between 100 grand and 300 grand, and also in turn teach you how to turn some guy.
Yeah, adjustable rate loan. Thank you, Melanated.
And you simply email us that you're ready, your full name and your phone number. You put it right here. It's the knowledge though. So when people say put you on to game.
Well, you put that same message under every video you do.
I teach a lot for people. Okay. I hope y'all enjoying this. Press 9 if you're enjoying all this.
Why you always lying? Why you
kidding.
always lying? Oh my gosh.
The stream won't be able to.
Boy, stop.
I won't be able to post it. I want to avoid that. Full name, the phone number. When you are ready for the service. All right. If I have to do this in the stream. Okay. Press 9 if you're enjoying the info. Good. That keeps me motivated. I know you walk with me, I know you can hear me clearly. And don't forget to share the video. Share the video. When this gets posted to the actual page, share the video. The reason why I say that is because they make so many different fake pages that once you like it, then there's a plethora of fake pages that come after you looking to scam and scheme you out of your bread. And then what happens is you don't want to like it no more. Then if you stop liking my posts,
how they be on your folk faster than you do Eugene? I don't get that part.
Scheme things. I don't want to say who's falling this because I want to be able to keep teaching here, but you kind of get the idea. So there's no way I would name myself. There's no way I would spell my name 100 different ways on 100 different pages. That's horrible for branding.
You would if you scamming. Man. Hey, Dark Alchemist.
So make sure you like the video when it comes up, and make sure you share the video when it comes up to let people know, hey, you definitely can use this information about mailing addresses. Make sure you don't use the United States Postal Office address. Make sure you use FedEx, UPS addresses, or City Hall addresses, and make sure the median income is over $200,000 because we know wealth begins at $150,000 a year. Yeah,
so basically, he's telling you to use somebody's address in a high income area to try to boost your credit. You know what?
However,
let's just get through this.
You want to go somewhere?
I came with Eugene. He needed to be in jail months ago. And now we got 33 days in the wake up.
Granted, these numbers are higher than normal because of the circumstances herewith that exist today. And so what you need to know is you need to be above the wealth line in order for your credit to be
He
impacted.
trying to use professionals language, trying to get people to believe him. But yo, Shadow, you using it in the wrong places, dude.
Keep in mind the number three, top three identifiers for you in terms of the credit world is your phone number, your email address, and your new address. And you want to get new ones in that order if you're going to slug this thing out yourself. Okay, so why the new phone number? Your phone number is attached to most things that involve credit, while the email, your email is attached to most things involving your credit history, while the new address, your address is attached to things involving your credit history.
You know
So
what? On your credit report, it show a list of your old and your new shit. So
required that you have a phone number and email, and therefore you can use all those new things that you just incorporated, and then you're going to start from a clean slate and only attach positive things. And also, we talked about different type of scores like.
so he acting like you could just delete your old phone number and shit, and then that stuff won't show up. That's not how that works.
CDAs are consumer data aggregates, and these consumer data aggregates or CDAs turn over this data to major credit bureaus so that you can be disempowered. So they, let's say you're a serial return artist, you buy clothes and then you return. I'm getting the best of it. You know, you want to be on a Grand Rock or something, and someone say you don't have the right to wear what you spent your money on.
Yeah, but you can't wear it and then take it back and act like you didn't wear it.
You're supposed to wear less, but when it's cheap, you can wear it as many times as possible. People wear fit caps throughout the year. The same fit cap they wear it throughout the year. No one ever said you still wearing that Yankee hat, but then if you wear like a $400 Versace band or two of them at the same time, $800, right? They'll say, why you always wearing
A
that?
fitted cap costs what, $60-something these days? A $800 belt, that's a whole shit. That's a couple of outfits. 5, 6, 7, depending on where you shop. 8, 9, 10. Take me to City Trends. No shit.
Now, point in case, then they have you so obsessed.
My bad, y'all.
Let me buy this and return it to the store because I gotta do this for the gram and I don't want people seeing me wearing the same thing more than once. Well, it's all about consumer predictability. So then they got a statistic that's out using advanced metrics and all of those sign up products.
You know what? People like you are why people can't try on swimsuits no more in the stores.
An item, there's a statistic on people who are serial return artists, people who have a tendency to buy clothes and return them. Right? And so people that buy clothes and return them often, that mentality has a tendency to not pay their bills back more than people who buy things the first time around. And so that consumer rating or score impacts you in ways where less credit will be allotted to you when asked. All right? And so even when you have a great credit score such as 750 and up, and I always say, what score? People say my credit score is pretty good, my credit score is bad. I'm like, what score are you talking about? Score is several. That's one. You don't have a score. You have several. And no matter how high that score is that you're talking about, there's still firewalls in the credit that even if you have so-called good credit, you still have to operate in similar capacity as though you have poor credit. Because truth be told, many of us don't know the difference between good and bad credit. But I'll give you a case in point. If your credit score is over 750 and you can't get access to $250,000, you have bad credit. And I don't care if
No, that means you have no collateral.
access to $250,000 in credit. That means there's some firewalls on your credit. We got to destroy those nuances.
Firewalls are not used on credit, dink dink.
Because credit is a class system. Some of us are more privileged than other people. Okay.
That's that us against them shit. He using that to scam the people. Shame, 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 Eugene. Shame, shame, shame.
Okay? Hope you guys are walking with me. And make sure you share this video. It's all knowledge, all knowledge. And I'm saying at the end of the day, you get access to 6 figures. I mean, you should never have to look back. It's $2,000. Now, as far as mailing procedure, if you're gonna mail out any disclaimers, if you're gonna mail out any infractions made against you in terms of
Any
credit, be
disclaimers?
sure to send out the mail, registered mail via green card receipt, signature confirmation.
Green
Why?
card receipt, signature confirmation, y'all. I think we looked that up last time, so I'm not gonna bother.
To it being shipped out. Why is that important? Because if you send out something,
We all know what a green card is, and they don't give you receipts for them.
signature confirmation, green card receipt. Because now it's you and 3 other people that bear witness that this mail is going on. Why is that important? The reason why that's important is because if you send out your affidavits, compendiums, and memorandums properly,
But if all 3 of y'all lying,
credit bureaus and or financial institutions, then they'll be reprimanded if they don't respond because you have proof that at least 3 people, not including yourself, bear witness to this mail being sent out, which incurs the stress of a $20,000 to $30,000 fine per each letter that you sent out. That's why you want to send the mail out, register mail, green card receipt, signature confirmation.
go to UPS and tell them, go to FedEx, go to the other one, UPS, and ask them for a green card receipt. I want you to, and come back and tell me what happened, so I can laugh.
I'm certain that will take the time out to hit the post office and do that. You know,
Weren't you just told people not to use the post office?
on the back end, when people get their bread, they show me love. But people are greedy too. And that's their right. Because I could just say, you know what, let me just charge 10, 15 bands. And most of you say, we don't got 10, 15 bands, but most of you say, we don't got 2 bands. You see what I'm saying? So I just don't even want to deal with it overall. I just hook up my homies and associates and we can get to work because I know they're going to see me on the back end most times. So if you want the service, you email me at brotherpolite45@gmail.com. We'll get you access to anywhere between 100 grand and 300 grand. It's going to take your side of, around 60 business days. We'll show you how to turn a line of that credit into cash. $2,000 gives you access to 6 figures. Nonetheless, and then when you email us, leave your full name and your phone number. Say you're ready. Email and phone number. Make it clear that you're ready. But keep this in mind. And I also got a pin here, brotherpolite45@gmail.com. POLIGHT45@gmail.com. Brotherpolite45@gmail.com. You don't have to email us that access. It's the
$325 per mailing for green card receipts.
You don't have to contact us and tell us you'll be ready next week, 2 weeks from now, a month from now. We won't even be doing it in a month from now. That's out the question. This is our last time doing this, and then what I'm also going to do is give you some different directions that you can go when you get access to the money so you don't mess up the money and wind up back at ground zero. But again, I remind you, I'm a 10th grade dropout. I dropped out a few months into 10th grade. I'm not credentialed to give financial advice. I only share my experiences, but I always will suggest.
Look, the only green card, you only need a green card if you're not from this country. Don't need those shout outs.
Someone who is considered qualified, who is considered credentialed, in financial advice.
Oh, now he trying to give a disclaimer. Too late, fool. You've been doing this for entirely too long with no disclaimer. Now you want to bust out talking about, no,
Because a lot of times you're going to educated. Like when I tell people to go get QRPs, qualified retirement plans, it's a fashion tax deferred compensation arrangement plans. Or when I teach people about tax liens, and I tell them make sure you set up a retirement account so you can defer some of those taxes or mitigate some of the
we almost done, family.
You set up a retirement account and you put your interest from tax liens in your retirement account. Taxation is going to be different, but then again, you want to
Tax liens. You mean them things they give you when you don't pay your taxes?
Let me tell you things that I've done. My personal
You ain't did none of that shit, boy, because if you did, you'd already be in jail.
That's the best way to do this. You know, we just live in a world where you got to be very uptight. These things they don't teach in school that you will probably only get like right now through word of mouth. And then the people that's giving it to you through word of mouth have to be wise enough to tell you According to them, I'm incompetent. You know what I'm saying? But I make more money than the people you're about to go to and ask if what I'm saying is true.
And
So
they
I
gonna
gotta
tell us no, that's not
that's just
true.
you know, that's just the way it is. So gotta stay smart, you know, to keep this foot in the game. That's why I'm like walking on eggshells whenever I'm teaching. Then I
Boy,
gotta
quit
teach again and
lying.
say, hey, we don't want that type of content. Oh, the booty shaking. You want me showing the beautiful women, which I love to do. You want me showing you the cash I got, which I love to do for motivational purposes.
Boy, stop.
People will be condescending towards my people or make them upset. Those some of the
Yeah, your cash app is motivation to go get a real job. Mm-hmm.
trust me, I really didn't know all that. But at the same rate, if I break down the harvest of property and it being hybrid, I'm getting strikes.
You ain't getting no strikes, boy.
It's kind of crazy. It's kind of crazy. You feel me? Real talk. It gets really spooky after a while. So, if you're feeling the stream, press 9, please. Thanks for. If you appreciate the stream, if you appreciate the free information, press 9 again. And again, if you not really getting what I'm saying is, when I teach the truth excessively, I get put in a position where I can't teach it no more. So I got to do things in my
Boy, stop.
It's long commercial breaks, dropping the nice cars, still press like on the image because it helps with the algorithm. So I can have access to more of you guys that when I go live, you can be informed. But if you guys don't press like, if you guys don't engage, because the engagement is what's making them the money. The engagement is what's going to empower me to access the people's attention I've earned. But when they create all these fake pages and then you're discouraged from pressing like because you don't want the fake pages coming your way, then that causes you not to like things as posted because you don't even want to deal with the stress. And that puts the engagement level lower.
I wish they had a dislike button on social media.
It's a science. So I see what they're doing. Who they are, I'm not even going to express it. I don't want to go through my page being shut down or me not being able to do live streams. But just understand this. I haven't lost my mind. Oh, he's sold out. He don't teach no more. You got to use your mind. I love teaching.
Boy, everybody know you get ready to go to court trying to get that money up.
And I dare you to go on another page and see if you can find it deliberated in the way that I did or in the capacity that I had.
Credit restoration microwave.
I really be going super hard for the people. Real talk. I be going crazy when I drop this info. Whether it's health,
Negro,
finance, real estate,
please.
doesn't matter. Like I said, from pre-K to 12th grade, 14 years of going to school, and they ain't really prepare you for food, clothing, and shelter. So by the time you're an adult, you don't know how to sew.
Oh, I forgot to tell y'all. This week, curb service is canceled. If I didn't tell y'all earlier, I might have. This heat got me on one. But curb service is canceled this week. Gigi got some stuff to do, but we'll be back soon. Can't tell you exactly when yet, but yeah, we will be continuing. Oh, and I got the interview with Big Rob. We just gotta schedule it.
Nutrition, and you don't know about credit or real estate. So what the hell was we studying for 14 years? If this was making the world go round, they was just gassing us this whole time. We was carrying ones and doing all sorts of shit, and nobody's really going to actually do in society. Build a rocket ship or engage in neuroscience.
We're going on a trip in our little rocket ship, going through the sky.
So we can thrive as human adults in society. The only thing we were given after that, well, go to school for higher learning, which in turn put us in debt. And then if we do get a job, we only got that job in the
the government just canceled $6 billion more dollars in student loan debt. Don't ask me which one because I didn't see that part.
Education, so we can leverage those credentials into getting the job whose check we're going to have to send back to the people who put us in debt. I know I said the same thing twice, but that's the Ouroboros that we're in. That's what's going on there.
If this boy don't quit trying to sound educated.
So the whistleblowers or the people that deliver you this information on the strength, we're the ones.
Where Melissa at?
We're the ones that call sellouts. We're the ones that you can't trust. We're the ones like, I don't know. I'm teaching you about investing in yourself. I'm saying, look, these are things that you can do to take the necessary steps to move forward. I guarantee these things, this information is going to work. You want to take it to the next level? You pay us $2,000.
Right, validated.
In addition to boosting your credit and removing
I've been waiting for this.
so-called good credit. I'm telling you, people are like, well, my credit is pretty good. And then I look, your credit is bad. It may say something, but that's also bad.
No, it's because you have 3 credit scores and then one of them is a light. So they average them out. That's what the mortgage lady told me. You got your 3 credit scores: Experian, Equifax, and TransUnion. So what they do for big purchases is they average them out to get a credit score. And your credit score can fluctuate between the 3 credit unions by like 60, 70 points. So yeah, on Experian, you might look like you got mad purchasing power, but on TransUnion, you can't buy nothing.
The score, not the concession. I want the concession. You love movies, it's a concession stand.
I mean, you have never seen him purchase a car from a lot, from a dealer. You have never seen him buy a house from a real estate agent. You have never seen him make any big purchase at a legit place besides some shoes or some shit. So why would you listen to him for advice? Because he don't seem to know what the fuck he's doing.
Let's get the bread. You see, I'm the devil.
Because if he did, he would have shown you this stuff. But he can't even show you the outside of that vehicle because the person that owned it told him not to show it. Don't be sitting up here putting my truck online.
Yes. So you be broke. Broke bitch for years. Real shit.
And you've been a scamming bitch for years. Which one is better? I would say being broke. As long as you paying your bills on time and shit, I'd rather be broke than scamming. Looking over my shoulder everywhere I go, hiding out and shit. Running around looking tacky than a motherfucker. I'm good.
Real talk.
That old Harlem hustle. Mm-hmm.
That's what we're not going to do. All these people that's putting in this weird shit in the chat, I'm just getting them up out of here because it being a distraction. Okay, good.
Sound like somebody was in the chat snitching on your ass. He got that gunk in the side of his mouth like Sparrow.
This chat has been great. Make sure you share the video when this goes up live. Definitely gonna do the NFT. We're going back to In the Money text again. I get some kinks worked out with the Brother Polite site. There's different things that goes on in the background. I don't care to express negativity, but I'm just making sure stuff is right so I can be represented properly. So please hold tight for the courses. The courses will be back up and running.
Boy, quit lying.
About a week and a half, we'll be back up and running with the courses, back up and running with the money text. We'll be doing all of that. And then the NFT will be out. We're going to do all of that. I just wanted to make sure I get this information off to you guys. It's pinned to the top, but I'll also put it in the caption, brotherpolite45gmail.com. Brotherpolite45@gmail.com. Spell polite the right way, please. The way I spell it, POLIGHT. Pride, optimism, love, integrity, talent, honesty, trust. PO-LIGHT, LIGHT. 45@gmail.com. You leave your full name, your phone number when you're ready to pay us the $2,000.
That boy be lying.
45 to 60 business days. Give or take, it might be a little longer, but make sure it's business days that you're factoring in. This is what we do. All about giving up, but at the same rate, I always make sure I give out free data as well. All the time. All the time. That's what we do. So I'll be talking to you guys. Absorb this data, review the data, use it to your advantage. This is the closing of the credit restoration service. Like I said, be ready. Just make it clear you're ready in your email. You don't have to tell us you're gonna be ready next week, next month. Be ready right now. Let's get to it.
That's
Let's make
that
it done.
credit restoration service, boy.
Let's invest in some business and make sure we never broke again. Get that money and never broke.
Somebody find him and beat his ass, please. I'm tired of him.
Get that business.
Anybody else tired of him? Put a one in the chat.
Let's get to work.
Ain't they dope melanated? Him and a couple of other folks.
What does the credit score have to do with qualifying? Credit score has everything to do with qualifying everything. You want to get a house, you gotta be about 640 credit score to get a house. You want to get a car, you gotta be at least 600 to get you a car, a decent car. 620, 640, and you probably want to see 2 months of income. So to ask that question, you gotta get in tune with the world. You definitely need a upstanding credit score, but then you gotta get the firewalls removed.
They go to firewalls again, y'all.
But that you got to make sure that you have a history of participating in the credit world. Because some of you think you slick. Well, I don't be doing nothing, so that ain't worry about it. You also have equalization ratio. I should talk about that for a different session. But let's say you got a $3,000 credit card. Do your best to spend 9, 10,000 or more, meaning pay it back, and use it again, pay it back, and use it again. But just make sure on the you have the billing date, you have the report.
That boy be like.
That's it. Then you go crazy and spend money all over it again. Stop using your debit card because they tell you, oh, you use it 10 times, charge you for using the account.
My debit card ain't never told me that.
You want to increase the credit utilization ratio. You want to improve that. So you want to show, hey, you may have given me a $3,000 credit line, but I spent $15,000 in this month. But by the time you went to check it, I owed nothing. Then they'll say, damn, this person spends 5 times the every amount of money that we credit to them, but they never owe us. Let's up the ante. Let's get that person a black card. Let's get that person 20,000+. So you need coaching to know how to move around this shit, right?
You need culture, family. Eugene says we need culture to move around.
You can get the same information for free somewhere. You're lying.
You can get that information free from the IRS's website, irs.gov. It tells you all about how to fix your credit.
It's me doing this shit. Like, I hear other people doing what they're doing. That's just fugazi. They ain't telling you how to get to the bag. I don't know what they're talking about credit for. And they ain't telling you how to get access to 6 figures. That's trash. I don't want to hear nothing about, oh, I fix credit. So I'm listening for the part where you tell the people, oh, you're also going to get them access to hundreds of thousands of dollars.
So now he trying to down people repairing folk credit.
Even people struggling with getting the score up when you help people. But then you get the score up, and then I still ain't getting nothing after I got the damn score. That's corny. Give me the bread. Give me the money so I can do some shit with the score. That's corny. Like, but I'm from Brooklyn. Maybe it's a street mentality. I know what I need to get the bread for. I know what I need to get done. I ain't even gonna hold you. I know the words and the terms, and I use them properly. Well, then, when I just gotta connect with you guys, I just gotta connect with you and keep it 100. All that shit they talking is trash. But they're not talking about how to get this bread. Like, what good is the number? Like, okay, oh wow, I'm up 108.
Your credit score gives you purchasing power. So when you do want to go out and do something like buy a car, you don't have to put down an astronomically high down payment. When you go and buy a house, you don't have to put down an astronomically high payment. Hey, best revision. There's no way around that. You can't just go in and say, I want this house and put nothing down on it. Do you know I got money that I'm shelling out for this house that I'm finna buy? That even if I end up not buying it, I'm still gonna be out that damn money. You have inspectors and appraisers to make sure that the property's even worth buying in the first place. Then the real estate agent's gonna get a chunk. He don't know shit about credit. He don't know shit about buying shit because he ain't even got no goddamn driver's license, let alone talk about some credit. Sometimes you feel like a credit collector.
80 points. Yeah, I'm in the 720s. Yeah, I'm in the 750s. But I still can't do no shit with it. Where's the bread at?
That means that if they go somewhere to do like, oh, I want to switch phone services, guess what? They don't have a down payment because their credit's good enough, dingbat. These are all the things that people are trying to do by fixing their credit, not having to have astronomically high down payments, not having to pay to get a fucking phone cut on. You even have a down payment for utilities if your credit ain't no good. Up to $300-400. You can tell you ain't never moved there nowhere and had to pay no utilities. You can tell you ain't never had to pay no rent or no mortgage. You can tell that you never had to pay for no upkeep on no car or nothing like that. No insurance, none of that. Why? Because you a dusty, deadbeat scammer.
Invest in a consumer friendly franchise, $30,000-40,000, and make me a little extra 80,000 over the top every year. So I could go like this, and know I got 80 bands coming to me on the strip.
If you got 80 bands coming to you, how much of that is being taxed?
Tell me where I can make money. Don't just sell me on fixing credit and you struggling to do that. I gave you enough free game out here to get them.
You know what? When you fixing credit, you can only work with what people give you. Right, Marquis. I'm tired of him. I'm so tired of him. Y'all don't understand. I have to go looking for this boy every day of the week to make sure that ain't nothing. Best revision hers. Just
I
hers.
just want to increase my credit score so I can get into a house I can't afford.
You telling people that for $2,000 you can get them up to $300,000 worth of credit, but you talking about somebody putting somebody in a house that they can't afford. Boy, that went out the window after 2008 when they restricted the real estate market because they were doing just that. Read the whole article next time.
So I
Hey,
can
Blue
get into
Devil.
I don't want good credit just so I can get into some damn debt. Give me some good credit. Real good credit gives you access to resources.
But you still gonna have to pay that shit back. If you can't pay back a little loan, how you gonna pay back a big one?
Not the good credit that come with more debt. You all go with me? Somebody tell me, oh yeah, we're gonna improve your credit score. That's all? So I can do what? So you can get a car, so you can get out. Where's the money?
You don't get no
They
money
tell me
from
about
improving your credit score.
but that may be just me. You feel me? Like that just may be me. I ain't gonna sugarcoat nothing for y'all. I don't gotta use profanity to get my point across. But
Nobody
I just
has
say
to
something.
use it, but you can be so creative with profanity.
I ain't got the time. I ain't gonna hold you. I don't got time for that. I haven't got time for the type of stress people give me about charging 2,000 to do the service. Like with all the free information I
Because
get,
you
the
scamming.
donations on the script, I get some cut and drop. Tell you the shit that people can just try to sell to you inside of a damn course. That's trash.
Trash
And
family.
because I got the balls to say, yo, challenge me to get you access to the money. Challenge me to get you to the money. People mad at me.
But in order to get to challenge you, you gotta shell out $2,000.
Say
Boy,
the right shit.
stop.
Challenge me to get you the money. Don't challenge me to put you in a position to get into more debt. I'm about to go off. I don't even want to do that. Blessings in abundance. A sweet the daughter of Black Power will take our better care. Peace and blessings. And of course, Elu. I love you. Perpetual success. All right? Talk to me nice. Walk with me. Let's get to this bag. Let's make it happen. You hit brotherpolite45 at gmail.com. You leave your full name and your phone number.
Somebody that doesn't have their full
Share the
faculties, Marquise.
Share the video if you realize this information is valuable and you can use this information for free. And you need your friends and family to also know use this information for free.
Oh, he
Teach
want to
us
scam you, your friends, and your family.
Speaking game, getting credit to put you in debt. Like, what are we talking about here? Like this whole shit is crazy. If I want to go to school, I gotta be in debt. If I want to improve my credit, the best way to improve my credit is to go into debt. Get a house and get a car. Like you see how it's like you just all
When you have a house, you have collateral. Shadow. When you have a house, you have collateral that you can draw on in the future. You know, I mean, what's so hard about that to figure out? If you have a house, that's collateral. That's collateral that doesn't go bad. Hold on. Just saying, hey, see how you was doing. I'm live right now. Let me hit you back in a little bit. But he's 40, 39 or 40, Marquis. But he's sitting up here telling you to basically to live on credit. That's basically what he's telling you is to live on credit. He ain't never had no bills. He ain't never had no bills that he's had consistently. He was living in the bookstore. And then he went off and did something else, and he been timeshare hopping and everything else since then. But one thing he hasn't done is paid a rent or mortgage consistently because somebody sued him, or maybe two or three somebody sued him in California, La Brea Inc. I think it was, about not paying his rent.
Who falls around debt? Nobody want to give you no credit.
The only
No
things that you
forgiveness,
can
no
pull up on this man would be detrimental on anybody's credit score. And you sitting up here talking about you gonna make somebody money.
constantly accumulating more and more debt. God damn. It's just frustrating. Then I'm the one. Everybody want to act like they don't know I'm out here cooking with the dollars. All these Negroes out here, they all in the cycle together, selling you on some shit they selling and never telling you how to get to the bread. But they all act like they ain't pick up enough game for me to get started talking what they talking. I know the words and terms that people use because I'm always coining terms. So when I hear my terminology and certain phraseologies, you know. When I put that thing on my eye and people run around like they're the ones who started and don't get paid homage, we know. But blessings in abundance, man. Love you guys.
He doesn't, Marquise, because he been under the radar since he was young. He doesn't operate within the world where you would get credit. He doesn't go out and get a job and do things like pay rent or mortgage, lights, water, any of that shit. He doesn't. He does not. So, to sit up here and act like he's just a financial guru to be all financial gurus, that's a whole bunch of bullshit. That's cap. Straight cap. Oh goodness, it is 8 o'clock over here, which means it's 9 o'clock over there. Crystal, you need to go. It's supposed to be bad weather, so I'm walking her as frequently as possible till it start raining bad. The garage turtles fight. Don't rush me. I know I asked, but damn, don't rush me. Okay, mama, I'm gonna go stand by the door till you're done. Anyway, I know this is a little short. I might be back later depending on the weather. But right now, I got to take her for a long, brisk walk because it's supposed to be bad weather today and bad weather tomorrow. Um, Eugene is a piece of shit. 33 days in a wake up. There's not really much you can say about him because he say damn near the same thing in every live stream. Give me your money. And he tosses in phrases that don't exist like cyber defamation litigation and credit restoration microwave. Oh yeah, and green card receipts. So this is TripCTreehouse for now, signing out, where it's always swinging, and we're out.